Yo guys, it's your boy Hybrid Hit Squad and we're back again with another football video, and in this one we're talking about why I think Real Madrid may be dark horses for the Champions League again this season. So obviously, starting with their manager Carlo Ancelotti, he's a manager that's not known for one particular style. I think his best strength is him knowing where and how to play players to the best of their abilities, and that's really what he's done throughout his career. You know, I wouldn't say Ancelotti's particularly synonymous with one um, tactic or one style of play. In comparison to the likes of Pep or Klopp or even Mauricio Sarri, who's really got a distinctive style of play. I wouldn't say Carlo Ancelotti's got that, but that's not necessarily even a criticism, because sometimes knowing how to get the best out of the players you've got is, a strength, a quality that I imagine all managers wish they had. What they've commonly gone with so far in the La Liga season, this season, is a 4-3-3. And as you can see on the screen, we'll go through that starting 11s, talk about their strengths and how they can improve going forward, if they need to improve going forward, and how well they can do this season. They've done really well so far this season. In goal, that's Thibaut Courtois, world class goalkeeper. Accomplished himself at Chelsea, won trophies at Chelsea, won the league, won the Europa League, I believe. Has now come to Real Madrid, won the Champions League with Madrid last season. A really accomplished keeper, a big keeper. I think at first at Real Madrid did struggle a bit. They struggled to find form and fit into that starting 11 with the defence ahead of him and the rest of the team as well. Was conceding goals, his distribution wasn't amazing either. But he started to, what looks like get more comfortable in the team, and has really grown into that role and shown the quality that he showed at Chelsea at Real Madrid, which is all you can really ask for, because that's what you're buying essentially. Now they've got a back four of Ferland Mendy, Alaba, Rudiger and Carvajal. Obviously they've got Mendy at left back, a really solid left back, can provide both ways, is able to progress the ball, able to attack and defend, is far from a liability on defence, and has been contributing effectively as long as he's been in the team, and he's one of the first names on the team sheet. Not only do they not really have much cover at left back really, but by far he's the best left back they've got, and by proxy is one of the first names on the team sheet. Then we go to the centre back partnership of Alaba and Rudiger. Alaba, both of them are supreme, are really good ball players. I think Alaba's more of a distributor, Rudiger's more of a driver with the ball, but they can both play the ball, both capable passers. Rudiger's got a lot more of a physical presence. He's a lot taller, stronger. Alaba's a bit shorter, but like I said, he's a really good ball player, and one of the best centre backs in the world when he joined them. At the time at Bayern, again at Bayern, one of the first names on the team sheet. Really versatile as well. You'll find Alaba can play in a number of different positions, but so far at Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti's preferred him at centre back. And what can I say about Rudiger that hasn't already been said in many ways? An absolute presence in the back line, was vital to Chelsea when he was there, and really was a player that contributed a lot for them in terms of leadership, consistency, that physical presence also, and also with the even saw in his last season at Chelsea, was really able to was given that freedom to really dribble with the ball and drive into that midfield and help distribute and be another body in that midfield, to get plays started and start counter attacks. He's really good at that, and we've been seeing that at Real Madrid. Same with Carvajal as well. I think Carvajal is maybe a position they might look to improve on. He's a right back that is solid defensively and is good on the ball also. Can play the ball fine, but doesn't give much attacking in my opinion. If Real Madrid really want to take it to the next level, I think they'd be looking at getting a more athletic fullback, a player who can, and also a more athletic player, and a player that can probably provide more in attack as well. Not to say Carvajal is any sort of liability. I don't think that Carvajal will be the player to cost you a game, because like I say, he's really not a defensive liability at all. He's a very good defender, but offensively you'd want someone who can offer a bit more than Carvajal offers, I would say. So we move on to the midfield, and this midfield is up there with one of the best midfields in Europe. I can say that comfortably, up there with one of the best midfields in Europe. They've got Camavinga, who they got from the French league. I believe they get him from. I don't want to say the wrong team. Yeah, but they got him from the French league. Camavinga, a player who came with a lot of hype. You know, hadn't accomplished a lot at the time of they signing him. You know, they took a risk on Camavinga. You know, a player who really hadn't established himself the same way someone like Modric had established himself when he joined Real Madrid. You know, he's a young player who hadn't spent too much time in the first team, but a player that took a chance with, and honestly, the gamble has paid off and is continuing to pay off, in my opinion, because he's a player, you know, like he's one of those midfielders that really can do it all. He's a box-to-box midfielder, has presence in both boxes, is a decent passer of the ball, decent distributor. I wouldn't prefer him as the primary distributor of the team. That's why you've got Modric there. We'll be onto him soon, but I wouldn't say he's good enough yet to quite be a primary playmaker for the team. But he's quickly becoming a player who's completely vital to the team, and again, becoming one of the first names on the team sheet, and rightfully so, because when you're putting in performances, you know, you deserve to be given a chance and deserve to be one of the top first names on the team sheet, and we're seeing that because Madrid, you know, they're putting in great performances so far in the Spanish league, and are definitely one of the favourites to win it, as they always are. Even if they're having a bad season, they're still one of the favourites to win it. But as of now, as the time of recording this, they are ahead of Barcelona in the league, and look like they could go the whole way. Of course, really early in the league, really early in the league, or the season rather. But it's, as always, it's going to be out of Barcelona or Real Madrid. We know that, but nonetheless, we then go on to Tchouaméni. I think that's how you say his name. I hope I haven't butchered it. Tchouaméni, who they got from Monaco. Again, similar to Camavinga in some ways, a player who really can do it all, but also a player who hadn't done much before he got to Real Madrid. A player at Monaco who I don't think had spent very long in the senior team, as far as I know. But he does have some similarities with Camavinga, where he really has a presence in both boxes, in my opinion. Can distribute the ball, but again, I mean, maybe I'm holding him to a much higher. I'm holding these players to much higher standards, but the standard that Real Madrid need these guys wouldn't be good enough to be primary playmakers yet. Like I said, these guys are both very young, physical, got that physical presence, got that work ethic as well. And I've no doubt, you know, in 2-3 seasons, these guys will be ready to be the primary playmakers, and there'll be no issues there. So Tchouaméni and Camavinga, and also lastly but not least, Modric. Obviously, Modric at his age isn't starting every game. I've put Modric in here, but you could often see him switched out with maybe Vasquez or Valverde, or even Carvajal can play midfield. I've put Modric there because I think he's the best option out of all of them, and Toni Kroos, of course, as well. You know, Modric, even at his age now, a player who's, you know, one of the biggest overachievers in football history. I'm going to say, in at least modern history. You know, when he joined Real Madrid, I'm sure a lot of you know this, but when he joined Real Madrid, he was actually voted as one of the worst signings of the year, or one of the worst signings Madrid has ever made. So for him to come out the other end, almost as a Real Madrid legend, though, a player who's won, you know, 3 Champions Leagues with them, four Champions Leagues he's won, I believe, with them. He's won 4 Champions Leagues with Madrid, and can still, of course, naturally he's losing his physicality. You know, he's not going to be as box to box as he was, and I would say probably for the past 3 to 4 years he's been losing that physicality. I think that season where he won the Champions League with Real Madrid and then went straight into the World Cup, I think that season, that year really took it out of him. We struggled to see him as good as that since then, but that's not to say he hasn't been putting in great performances and absolutely bossing that midfield with just the overall work rate, being able to distribute the ball. Right now, in that midfield, he definitely is the primary playmaker. So yeah, Modric is a player that is, you know, will still continue to be in the first 11, even at his older age. Now we've got a really dangerous front three here. We've got Vinicius, Benzema, and Rodrigo. You know, definitely at the start when they were signing players like Vinicius and Rodrigo, you really don't know what to think because these are players who they spent big fees on and really have accomplished nothing. You know, these are players who, in the Brazilian league, may have ripped up some floor, may have shown some flashes, but really haven't accomplished much in the same way. You know, like so a player like Neymar, he had played so much football by the time he got to Barcelona. At that point, he was a lot less of a risk because he had played probably over 100 games for Santos at that time. Vinicius and Rodrigo, they had bought at such a young age. They really hadn't even had that chance to play that senior football. Even in Brazil, it's a much lower level than they were playing in the Liga. But it's the same. It's the same sort of thing, regardless. But so far, they're proving that they're paying off the risk. Rodrigo's been really good. Vinicius has been really special for them as well. I think he had a slow start, as you'd expect. He's so young. It's his first time, playing outside of Brazil because he's only ever played in Brazil, obviously due to his age. So he started to pick it up a lot more recently, showing more flair, showing a bit more confidence, and showing that confidence and comfortability with the team, with the league, with the style of play that Carlo's probably given him the freedom to play. Also, that's probably also another reason why he's been showing so much improvement. And we go on to Benzema. What can I say? Again, still one of those players. What can I say that hasn't already been said? Karim Benzema, modern day one of the best strikers of our generation. He's up there with he's up there with the Lewandowskis. He's up there with the whoever you get, Aguero's, Suarez's. He's up there with all of them, and could arguably be better than all of them. That argument's an argument worth making, even at this point. But he gives you, everything you'd want from a striker. Can play the ball, can drop deep rather. Still has that physical presence also, and when you give him a chance, he's going to finish it. So that being said, that's the Real Madrid 11, and I think they really will be dark horses for the Champions League. I think maybe technically they won't be dark horses because I've looked at the bookies and they're fifth favourite. I don't know, this team over two legs, especially in the knockout, and when you have to go back to Bernabeu, they're going to be a tough team to beat, and I think a lot of teams will struggle there, as they always do. Even historically, teams have struggled at Real Madrid, even when they've been in one of their poorer periods. Teams will always struggle there because they're a team and a fan base that always turn up for the big occasion, and the Champions League at the Bernabeu, never going to be easy. But that's it from me. It's been your boy Hybrid Hit Squad. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you've got any ideas on what I should do for a next video, make sure to leave a comment. And if you don't want to miss out on more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe. I've been your boy Hybrid Hit Squad, and I'm out. Peace.